I should stand up. Oh, okay. So what time is
devil is a liar. I specially put powder inside this bag. Now I can't find it. Let me see the one I put over the city. Powder to remove me bag in the shadow of me bag in the corner of my face is you can call. No, you have to be able sorry, you were saying something?
Yes, but SCT resident doctors in 30 minutes drive. Is that okay to bring that as well?
Sure, no.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to move away from issues that make him happy. That's the only issues that people are raising. For instance, the education sector in Abuja is a complete mess.
Last time.
It's still a complete mess.
Well, I saw that. I don't know whether let me find out. Is he gearing something school? Wait, let me see if I can find it. Yes, it is. Gishiri Primary School. It was allegedly demolished at his instruction.
That would probably be the only school for that area.
They reported just the other day one journalist like that exclusive report from him that the people are complaining. Neither buses were provided or the school built since March. So perhaps he knows about that.
Okay.
He can speak to that as well. So that can follow up to what she asked. Because he was saying that you're always talking about, what is wrong, but not what is doing.
Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Morning, Excellency.
You said? Okay.
No, sir. To comport themselves, if they don't want to comport themselves, I will just cancel it. But I tell them to comport themselves, they talk too much.
Okay. Gentlemen, just before we start, we don't want any form of noise at all, either passing instructions or any form of noise, please. It's very distracting at this end. And the already minister has started to walk out of the interview session if your noise disturbs him. I'm sure we won't want him to do that. Shout, featuring the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Yusuf Wike. The Honorable Minister is here and the session will be starting with his kind permission. I will be introducing members of the panel.
Now, my name is Benga Aruleba. I work with Africa Independent Television, and of course to my immediate right here is Felicity Ezenwike of News Center. Felicity, welcome on board. And sitting next to her is probably a face we have not seen on this panel before. Joining us for the first time, Christian Ogodo is the Bureau Chief, Abuja Bureau Chief, Arise News.
Christian, good to see you after a long while.
Well, thank you very much, and nice being with His Excellency. Just a little correction there. I'm the managing editor of Arise News.
Okay.
Thank you.
My apologies, please.
All right.
And of course, on the other side is Makwe Oguyusuf. Makwe Oguyusuf is of Channels Television. Makwe.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much.
Ayo Ozumbako is sitting next to Makwe there. Ayo is of TVC News.
Good morning, Minister.
Thank you.
And of course, bringing up the rear is Chijoke Okafo, is of ADBN. Chijoke, good to see you too.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. Good to see you.
You're welcome.
All right, Honorable Minister, maybe we should start on this note. We just got the news just a few minutes ago of the passing of the head of service of the FCT. And I'm sure if you had received that news before now, you probably wouldn't be here. First, on behalf of all of us, we offer our condolences to you personally and to the FCT administration. But I'm sure you would like to have some comments on that.
Well, unfortunate. Sometimes you don't even know what to say. I've never heard she was sick anytime. Just as I was coming, and I was informed by my chief of staff what happened. And I said, was she sick? She said, no, that she normally preaches in the church. But yesterday she was unable, but she was feeling, I have blood pressure and this. And before they rushed her to hospital, confirmed that she was dead and really pathetic. Very hardworking. It was because of her hardworking nature. She ought to have retired. I had to write to Mr. President to extend. Mr. President magnanimously extended. She's very experienced, and the first indigenous head of service. It's unfortunate. We pray that our soul rested in peace. After now, I will go and pay condolences to the family. It's really unfortunate. Like you said, if I've gotten this information before now, obviously I would have put off. But it's a national thing. Everybody is tuned to it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
All right, sir. Again, our condolences.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get on with the business of today. The month of September, today actually 1st of September, and we know that judging by what we saw in the previous month, this month also promises a lot for the people of the FCT in terms of projects, under commissioning of flag off, all of that. We flagged off some projects not too long ago, and we understand that this week too, you are flagging off some new projects. Would you like to start with that, and what do these projects actually bring on board for the people of the FCT?
Well, like we said, yes, we had commissioned, yes, we have flagged up, and we continue to flag off. At least for today, it's not about road. For today, it's not about water. For today, it's not about school. But today, it's about sports. What are you going to do in order to encourage our youths to take advantage of what sports is today, the international community, and engaging our youths? So we have come up with this idea that we are going to build a multi-event center that will take into cognizance all the sporting activities, not just only football, not just athletics, even the indoor games, lawn tennis, all sporting activities. That we are partnering with a private company. We are going to fund it, but the essence is to see that to encourage our youths who will encourage them. You can see what's happening today. Sport is one of the huge revenues for countries, We have started with three. But today we do the one in the city. The next one, I think, is in Guamalaba. Then another one, remember vividly, where they are warrant padres. So it's something that everybody will be happy. And even people like you too should be going there and try to take part by exercising yourself, you know. In fact, like this, my head of study that nobody knows. I mean, it's sometimes we don't pay attention to some of these things. So nobody will blame us that we're always concentrating on roads. But that does not mean that. But what if they will talk about road too? It will be in Kano, you know. Tomorrow will be for the courts, because if you see where the best courts are and where they are sharing, is so discouraging. And so we decided that we have to provide a more confident for the magistrates to work, just like the judges are provided for. So that of the magistrate courts have to do with 3 districts, as required by the chief judge of the FCT High Court. So that will be done tomorrow, and then Wednesday we'll go back to roads, which is very, very key to open up our cities. Of course, it's a satellite but in Abuja municipality.
Yeah, in the last media chat, I think it's fair to comment when things are done right. In the last media chat, I wasn't here, but I watched it, and I observed your reaction when comments were made that it seems we're doing more of road project. This time around, it seems there's a clear sort of shift. So I think it's worth commending that you've done what you said you would do, you listened, and all of that. But there's shanties. In the past 1 month, we understand you've been, clearing it off, sending people away. There are concerns about homelessness, and also if there is any plan to maybe relocate these people.
Well, when you say shanties, are shanties legal? Shanties are people who are illegal occupying a place. You see, we can go joke with security. You have complained about insecurity, kidnappers, one source, or what do you call it? One chance and this. These are people who occupy all these shanties. In fact, sometimes they people ride the corridors where the road is supposed to pass. And then what you want to do, they say compensation to who? Who is this person here? You don't see a land, you just go and begin to put batches. It's not allowed.
Some would say that the reason these people do this is probably because they're poor, they have no alternative.
It is not correct. It is not correct. Certainly it's not correct. When people want to do bad, mind you, criminal don't stay where you will locate them. Criminal don't say houses where you will identify them. Criminals say in this area of somewhere you cannot locate them. We cannot say because of poverty we shall allow you to kill people, to rob people, to kidnap people. That is not allowed. It defaces the city. And that is why we have told people who claim that this land belongs to them, or sometimes, why are you not developing the land? Why are you making it possible for these criminals to come and settle here and cause problems for the city? And then you say government is not doing anything. We are going to make sure that all illegal occupants of anywhere will be thrown out. It's unfortunate. But there's nothing we can do about it. Because security is key, is paramount. Any government that cannot provide security for citizens has nothing to do in government, has nothing else with government. So we have to be careful about this poverty thing or no poverty thing. There's no even a time that poverty, anybody can say I saw the problem of poverty. Nation, which country? Which country? All over the world. I go to China, go to places, there are areas you see poverty. You can see it. But that does not give you room to make people uncomfortable, to kidnap people, to kill people. No, we will not allow that. So let nobody be using this poverty thing as an excuse.
Your Excellency, I think they're two separate things. There are those who are criminals who do not want to, who are setting up shanties in obscure places. Say, for instance, the hills of Guzape, you will find that there are people who are living in the hills, using tarpaulin and what have you. And sometimes there's a lot of suspicion around the activities of those people. But then there are people who are also poor, who have nowhere else to go, who have been kicked out. Maybe cannot afford their rent, for instance. So I think the question should be, can we separate what exactly is the plan of the FCT for those people who could be vulnerable as a result of economic shocks and perhaps have nowhere to go and as such announcing in legal places?
We should come up with a community idea that government should build houses for everybody.
What's wrong with that?
But you cannot survive it.
Okay, for the vulnerable.
For the vulnerable. When you come for them, see, you must have the poor. See, that's the problem I have.
So can we narrow it down?
Take for example, take for example, we are provided a market, say for example, right? You see people not going to market to sell, right? They prefer to come out. And then you tell them, the poverty. There's a market for you to go and sell. You should not go to use the market. You want to come out outside. As I'm coming now from my house, look at people, oranges, corn, they peel it, they dump it in the drainage. That is poverty. Is that poverty? And then when you change them out, you say, look, these are people who have nowhere to go and sell. It is not correct. Look, I'll show you. You are really allowed to stay there and sell. Does that also mean that you block the drainage system? And then you start causing flood. I mean, we should not be even hiding under this guise of poverty. And people are doing what is wrong.
In other countries, they build shelters for people that they don't have the capacity to pay their rent outside.
To pay their rent where?
Within the community.
No. Let us tell ourselves a simple truth. Who are those in the cities? Go to Buhari, which is satellite town, where people, villagers live. Even there, they don't bother about sanitation. I go to Buhari every time. The law school is there. Those are villages. Yet they leave their houses and come on the road. Is that poverty? We have this attitude that look, everything must be done by government. Somebody comes out to say, look, I don't care. Government will come and pack this refuse. Come on.
Now, Honorable Minister, while we understand your displeasure towards some of these anomalies and the fact that people take advantage of amenities that have been set up for them and end up not even using them, is there again a clear-cut plan in order to alleviate the sufferings of some of these individuals who live in shanties, who are not necessarily criminals? I understand the need to clear the shanties and rid the city of criminal elements, but how about the poor and vulnerable who continue to suffer as a result of some of these decisions?
That's an example.
Just to add to what he is saying, sir, sorry to interrupt. Is it possible for this particular shanty, a temporary relocation site, give them time to find another place?
I will not fall to that trap. I will not allow criminality for any guise. I will not allow it.
Is it a crime to be poor?
What do you mean by poverty? Take for example, people leave their states all over and come here. You tell me because of poverty I should carry the responsibility. People leave their states and come and rule over the street of Abuja. It's a responsibility of the government of Abuja to provide houses when you leave your state. What are we encouraging? No, excuse me. What are you encouraging? What are you encouraging? You people leave their states to come to Abuja because it's the capital of the country. And then it is our responsibility to provide shelter for you. How can you sustain it?
I'm a little curious. You also attend the Federal Executive Council meeting and perhaps also the National Economic Council meeting. Are these conversations that are happening? Because we've seen over the years this complaint amongst, governors of, really urban states. Take, for instance, Lagos, where they do not have control over people that can come into their city, but then we know that there is a problem of rural-urban migration. People are seeking greener pastures. Is it a conversation that, is being held amongst the governors or also in the Federal Executive Council meeting?
But one you must understand clearly, and which you must appreciate. As well today, no government can provide shelter for all the citizens. It is not possible. We must be realistic. We must. But the mere fact that we are having a shortage of houses for people does not make us to further have to allow crime.
Absolutely.
It does not. It cannot stand. Every government, whether at the state level or at the federal level, is doing its best to see that you reduce this housing deficit. But again, you cannot say as a government that you take entire responsibility of providing housing for your citizens. It's not possible.
Sorry, excuse me first. Honorable Minister, I'm going to take you away from, the shanties in Abuja. Your giant strides in infrastructural development from roads to water, you're talking about trade. The hospitals have not felt the presence of this kind of infrastructure.
Yes, that's what you would always say. No, she said so. She said, no, you have said so. There's nothing to do. So don't take all my time.
Okay, sir.
You took all my time. She said so. Now, last time that I was talking about infrastructure and I was going to do other things. And she's happy that I have fulfilled that promise by going to other sectors.
Yes.
The problem we have is that when you see that you have attended to this sector, everybody believes that you must attend to all sectors at the same time. It's not correct. I told you about education. The number of schools we have renovated and furnished, right? And he said, but why is it that people are not aware? Okay, I'm going to direct the mandate secretary to take you to the rural area and see what we are doing in terms of schools. Now, somebody talks about youth participation and this and that. That's okay today. We have studied about sporting activities, sporting multi-event center that will bring the youth, engage them, all those kind of things. We have our budget was just released. The 2025 budget was just sent to us after the National Assembly approved, and then Mr. President assented to it. So the procurement process is on as regarding to hospitals. We are talking about the hospital in Gwagwalada, we are talking about the hospital in Guaripa, even the doctor's quarters and the rest of it. We are talking about the Otako, which are the former litigation. And so the hospital was abandoned because of litigation between the private persons and individuals and the government. So we've been able to sort out that issue of litigation. And then the procurement process is, of which you know about our procurement process, how long it takes, particularly when it concerns this specialty, this special areas. You cannot just say, oh, no, let's go ahead and do it the way we want to do it. No. So I believe that our next focus will be on the issue of health. Don't be surprised that if you are invited tomorrow, these are the things we are doing in terms of health. You say, oh, you really said it last time we met. We're happy that you are now fulfilling. Anything I tell you, go home and sleep with your 2 eyes closed. That's what we're going to do. But people must always understand that when we talk about infrastructure, if I provide a hospital there's no road to the hospital. How do you go? And if a woman is pregnant, another labor, and there's no road, how do you go there? Before you know it, that woman may lose her baby because of the bad road. It happens. Even tries to, criminal right to when the roads are bad. And so people must understand that our focus on road is not just because it is the key, but determined to every sector. If you have a school, there's no road to a school. What do?
You have to control.
So it is important. People should know first thing first.
Speaking of Minister, the welfare of the people here is very paramount. I mean, it's good you enunciated what you'll be doing in, the health sector in the FCT. You mentioned the tackle abandoned general hospital. All the districts in Abuja are supposed to be serviced by general hospital, but there is a gradual deterioration of healthcare system in FCT as raised by resident doctors. They said, and I'll quote or verbatimly put it in perspective, systematic deterioration. Only yesterday they issued their communique. That is, I want you to address.
What do you mean about resident doctor? You're talking about the FCT or the
FCT resident.
People make mistake. There are some hospitals that are not under the FCT. There are hospitals that are under FCT. So you must have to differentiate that.
Okay,
the one that's done by Federal Ministry of Health and the one by FCT directly.
Yeah, I think the FCT resident doctors have issued.
That's what you're referring to.
A 5-day notice.
You understand? Talking about the deterioration in the health system in the FCT, general hospital.
Let me tell you something. See, I was a governor, and I do know. I was a council chairman as a governor, and I'm here as a minister. One thing I found out in all this is that there's no time, even in ASU. Every time you hear one resolution, one communique, and this, a threat of this, a threat of that. Let me tell you something. When I was Minister of State Education, and then I became the Supervisory Minister of Education, then I met with the Vice Chancellors. And we were saying, look, what ASU is demanding is not proper. They don't understand the realities. They don't understand the funding part of government and the inadequate of resources. I said, how can you say that? Because you're the Vice Chancellor. Remember, before you became a Vice Chancellor, you were a lecturer. And you were ASU. That's correct, yes. So I come down. You see, we must tell ourselves the truth. Every sector believes that everything should be 100%. And it is not possible. No government will sit back and say, look, I don't want this sector to be functional. No. Government applies its resources based on its availability. And you cannot say all your resources must be tailored towards one sector. You have to, as the need arises. Today, the doctors are talking about training and retraining. Tomorrow, the doctors are talking about allowances that will not be paid. Today, they're about, the hospitals, there are no facilities, there are no equipment at this. When you provide the equipment today, tomorrow you say, look, yeah, this equipment you have provided. What about training and retraining? You go for the look, hazard allowances and this and that. So each time you come up with, I'm not saying that some of these things are not being achievable immediately. And we must understand that. And you wake up in the morning, you hear news. We have issued government an ultimatum without even writing to government. They have issued an ultimatum. Here is You don't engage with government and let government know these are the problems you are facing. The dream is just blackmail, threats. And by the time you sit down with them, say, look, but this is not possible. See this, see this, see this. You now come and we did not realize that this has been done. And these are not the things that these communicate issue. Have you written to government that, look, we want to discuss with you, see what you do, see what you do. When I was governor, doctor said, look, all of them entitled to vehicles. I said, how do I provide it? How do I provide it? How do I provide it for over 2,000 and 1,000 doctors? How do I do it? I said, this is the entitlement. Okay, assuming they not consider, how do you provide it? You can say, okay, I will take 50 now, or I'll take 100. They'll say, no, 500. How do you provide it? So he was realistic.
I was saying you're the leader. Somehow leaders will figure it out.
No, but it should be realistic too. It should be realistic. Okay, take for example. I've just said here severally, and we don't want to take that. What does Abuja get from the Federation account? What do we get? What we get from the Federation account is that federal government gets $1 million, $1 trillion, for example, in the month. For example, if I told you to. 1% of $1 trillion is how much? Those of you who know mathematics. No, which 100 billion? 10 billion naira. Yeah. That is not up to for you to pay salary. Now, what do? You fall back to your IGR. Is it not correct?
The FCT wage bill is more than 10 billion naira a month.
It is 12.something billion naira a month.
Overhead.
Salary.
Yeah, that's overhead. And
for over 47,000 workers, how do you have 47,000 workers in FCT?
That's
for God's sake.
And
then you now come to say, okay, I have to verify. Oh, labor will come in. They go strike. You want to strike some workers, this and that and that. That's what you face. But the truth of the matter is that, okay, we fall back to Nigeria.
Is it possible to...
No, hold on. So that not people know. Maybe you are trying to dodge because maybe you are maybe outfits or so. The point I'm trying to say. You know
that my media outfits can never...
No,
we don't own.
Okay, don't worry. I will publish it tomorrow. Now, you see what happens. Now, when you now come out to say, look, we want to be aggressive to connect our idea to be able to solve this problem. Then you also go back and say, oh, the manner and way the FCT is doing about these taxes is not correct. It was human face, not to this. Look, you want problem to resolve. I'm just being realistic now to tell you now, look at the problems. Now put it on the table. Government say, look, see what we are getting. And the only way you can achieve and get money to solve these problems will fall back to IGR. You know, payment of tax is a problem here. Payment is a problem. Yes. Most of you are living in Matama, Asokoro, Wuse, one. There are no poor people there. But you pay.
All right. I'm sure we'll have time to come back to FCT issues, but let's do things differently in this particular media chat.
Yes.
Let's go to politics. Obviously, so because just yesterday the results of the local government elections that were conducted on Saturday were announced, and it's been more of knocks than kudos for the conduct of the election. You not only participated, but that's your state. A lot of people are saying that your hands are showing, you know, that we are seeing since Saturday. First, your quick comment. Your quick comment first on the elections.
Okay, so if you ask me because when they say my hand was showing, I wanted to know how my hand was showing.
People are wondering how it happened that the rainbow coalition between the APC and the PDP, how did that happen?
First of all, let me comment about the election. This morning, I sat down, I was watching comments particularly channels. On Saturday, before I went out to vote, I also watched channels. Problem we have in this country is misinformation. It's not my fault that you refuse to be at work. I have seen people who, if you want to go in this area, you go and do your researches. To be adequately informed, so that when you ask you questions, sometimes it gives my imagination when I see people on television. And these are people I should think that have done their investigative job, that they know they have carried investigations, they now confront you with facts. I discovered that zero. First of all, you talk about legality of the election. It's most unfortunate. I believe that you have legal sections or legal departments who should be able to tell you what is this and what is that. I say this severally. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You see, it's illegal for an emergency rule to conduct election.
But that is what the legal mind.
I'm coming now. Give me the opportunity. I will educate you. This one, I'm very versed in this one. Not a media work, no. I will not take your job. Now, have you read about the emergency powers of 2004 that was signed by President Olusegun Obasanjo? What does it say? What does it say? The president has power to suspend or modify some sections of the law under emergency rule. Under the emergency rule, you can make regulation for governance on the emergency areas. And the president had done that. We say, oh, it's illegal for the emergency government to conduct, but we have some military rule to conduct election for us. Military rule as an aberration. That's a known to law. We accept military rule conducting an election for democratically elected people.
Because the military rule at that time was the de facto government.
Why not wait? Why not wait now? Just wait. First of all, is military rule an aberration or not?
Just in a democracy. To 1999. Are you referring to 1999?
I'm coming. All about just ask you simple question. Is military rule an aberration?
In a democracy, it should be.
The aberration is only sustained because of the suspension of the Constitution.
Fine. Now, under emergency rule, what does it say? What does the law say? Is there under the emergency rule the suspension of certain provisions of the law?
Constitution.
I've seen this severally. Now, you are talking about the president to leave the emergency rule by 18th of September, where the government will come back and the state legislature will come back. And then there's no democracy in the third tier. Remember, the president did not declare emergency rule in the local government. It was the Supreme Court that set aside the election.
Yes.
That election was not valid. And you also remember that Supreme Court before now said that there shouldn't be any caretaker committee at the local government level. And also, if the local government is not democratically elected, they cannot accept funds for the federation account. That is correct? Is that not correct?
Very well.
Fine. So the president did not notify the local government election. It was the court that notified the local government election. Now, I'm coming. It was this emergency rule that gave president the power, the access to even say they should accept funds to the federation account. That's why civil servants are being paid. Assuming that did not happen, well, what we have said today about local government council, where workers are not being paid because they cannot access money for the federation account. Also remember that because of this emergency rule, that the states were able to access funds for the federation account. Supreme Court has said there was no budget, and therefore state government cannot access funds for the federation account.
Your Excellency.
No, can I finish? Can I finish? So American Republic has the benefit of understanding and even appreciate the president for what he has done. Now, if this election is not conducted, and then the governor comes in, the state legislature comes in, right? In that case, how will the government accept funds when there is not democratically elected government? How would I accept funds to federation account? How will the civil servant be paid? What would then be the fate of the grassroots level? You have crisis. You have crisis. And then the president now said, look, by the regulations have made, you are therefore to conduct elections. Some people say, oh, the electoral act said 90 days, 150 days. They forget that the president has power to suspend some sanctions, and which he did by the regulations he passed or he made. And why should it be that each time is only in this part of the world? You are not a lawyer. By any act that has happened, you become a lawyer. You are not a judge who is giving the responsibility for interpretation of the Constitution of laws. You make yourself a judge. And you are not taking steps to challenge this. I thought, as people who are civilized, who want the rule of law, who want the law to grow, I will tell our party, my party, challenge this in court. This is not going to be allowed. Just like what we did when USEC conducted or tried to conduct election. We went to court and said, no, they are not following the provisions of the electoral act of the Constitution, therefore they cannot conduct this election. The court gave judgment saying, yes, you are right. It was in the media houses where they are showing that this judge is corrupt. He took money. He did this. He did that.
But it's not.
No, I am coming. I will not allow you today to interject us. I will not agree. The word must hear. The word will hear the truth. And that's what we owe the public. When Justice Nifu of the Federal High Court did that judgment, it was only when he took bribe. He did this and that. So they were screwing it. The bar. Everything was screwing it. Arai was screwing it. He went to the matter of the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court. You also came out and said, oh, now the law has taken place. There are people who want to appeal to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, no. The Federal High Court was right. The Court of Appeal, you are wrong. See. It was based on that judgment, all of you now are interpreting the number of days that ought to be given by USEC. And they said, look, now who appointed that the administration has no right to appoint USEC? Rubbish. The emergency law that the administrator is on behalf of the president. The president even submitted the names of members of USEC to National Assembly. Remember, under emergency rule, now that there is no state assembly, the National Assembly takes over. And that's why the National Assembly had to pass the budget of the state, of the state government. And which is why the state administrator is the one now presiding over that budget. Nobody argued that why should National Assembly pass the budget of the state? Nobody. It was the Assembly that approved and screened and approved the nomination by Mr. President of members of research.
Which wasn't without controversy. Which wasn't without controversy.
Controversy how?
The screening of the National Assembly, but let us...
No, I brought it up.
Yes.
Not the public, not the control of the chairman.
Of the chairman.
You see, that is the problem we have in this country.
Wasn't there controversy on the National Assembly?
If you create a controversy on your own, there is nothing but a controversy. What is controversy? For the president nominated somebody in Nigeria who is not an indigenous of justice. What is indigenship? Who will they appoint in the River State now to be the chairman of River State Independent Electoral Commission? But you will not say that is bias that are attached to this group or that group. You are telling me you want to be sent at the deputy side to be the chairman. Who will we bring? There is no need to Wike or no need to this person. Let the people is wisdom to make sure at least we should have people who are able to be political chairman when we go outside. Somebody who is not attached to anybody in the state. The issue of leadership. And that, why not say who will do the work? And we are talking about controversy. What is the controversy? Somebody from the south?
My Excellency, the election people are talking about is Wike, a PDP member, happy that AOC won 20 local government chairmanship position in Rivers State. Yes. Did you campaign for PDP? Hold on.
So Wike is very popular today.
Where are you?
Hold on.
Yes.
Wike is popular today. Is it not the same people are here in Arise, are here in reality, are here in channel, that Wike cannot say he is going to determine what happens or not. He can only determine in his own local government. I have determined now in my own local government. I'm a member of PDP. I won in my local government. And the people who want the APC, and the people who want the APC, you know what I'm told.
Well, would you be fair to say the way you are handling things at the moment, because you speak that you are a PDP member still, but every other action you take is in support of the APC.
What kind of action did I take?
You said now that you delivered your own local government in this election, and you delivered it to the APC.
No, it's not correct. You see the problem we have? You see where your money is? No. But you should know. See where your mind says. I said my local government. No. I'm not doing the life program. I never said here that my local government is APC. I never said so. I said you are being their house. All of you. You only say we cannot influence what happens in other local government. He can only influence what happens in his own local government. But the people of those government are going to choose where to go to. And I have agreed to that. And I have influenced, campaign for my people, vote for PDP. And my people have voted for PDP in my local government. Now you are angry that ABC won. Listen, you are angry that ABC won in the local government, which means why did I not extend the influence I didn't have?
I'm not talking about your influence.
Are you happy with the results of these elections? 20 local government councils as clean sweep by the All Progressives Congress, and just 20 local government councils by the PDP. Many times on this platform, three by the PDP. A lot of times on this platform, in the media chat, you have said that you will work for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu ahead of 2027. Is this a preview of what is yet to come in the 2027 general election?
Now, can I tell you, the local government that is telling who is what in the state is my local government. Okay. It's Portable local government. And Obebo and local government. I mean that local government and by PDP.
Listen.
That what occurred in River State over the weekend on Saturday is what we are going to see in 2027. That is my question.
Mind you should know that every election has its own perspective. Look at it. 2, you should know what is happening. Are people happy with what is happening in PDP? The PDP contest in those local governments.
Where APC contested?
Yeah, did they contest?
The last,
Stop correct. Go and get your facts. People are, see, that's why you want to say something. I mean, the last time I raised this, the last time I raised that's a collaboration. No, let me educate you people. Because we are free to go and do their research. Even what you said, the see what you said. You don't even have the facts.
Well, not in all the...
No, it's not about you. If I were you, what you should have done was to go to research. Can I have parties who are participating? But you don't know about us to do that. No, I don't want to give you the facts now. Can I, the research? No, you can't give me. Can I, you see the problem, excuse me. Okay. This is for us, for me to educate the public. All right. It's not for you to educate the public. Okay. So don't be taking my time before you go on the advert and this and that. So let me tell the public. I thought that you should have written to research. Can we have parties that are contesting this election? What are their candidates' names in the local, in the various local governments? It's not every party that can say we see their candidates in Obiabo or in Port Harcourt or in Obama. No. So you don't start to win where you don't fit candidates. Where you don't fit candidates. And what I was thinking, for the first time in the history of this country, if we were gunshots, for the first time in the history of this country, if we were hijacking of materials, and for the first time in the history of this country, no political party has come out to say, look, we don't believe in this kind of election.
Do they have the strength to do that?
What is my business about strength now?
Democracy, 20 local government to the APC.
Yes.
I think at the heart of what I was trying to get at was that you have often, repeatedly said you will work to return, just like you said, President Tinubu.
Have I denied that? So why didn't I do my own local government to APC if that is the business?
Let me tell you what the research that you didn't want to hear is about.
Yes.
In the last media chat,
okay,
I raised the question of that alliance between the APC and the PDP.
Yes.
That the two parties had agreed to work together. And give local governments to themselves.
Okay.
Which was why in your local government, for instance, because we wanted to retain your position in PDP, Obiabo was for PDP.
Yes.
People who are very close to you politically, in Emoha, for instance, one of your staunchest supporters, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, contested on the platform of the APC. There was no PDP candidate to oppose the election against him. In what's Brother Francis Obua's local government, I think, Onega, it was PDP. There was no APC candidate. Another staunch supporter of yours, former chairman of the PDP in River State, Ambassador Desmond Akao, I saw him campaigning for the APC in his local government. The APC won in his local government. Which portrays the point that I wanted to make the last media chat, that there was an alliance. They call it Rainbow Coalition between the APC and the PDP, which was a master plan by you to maintain dominance over the PDP and the APC.
I shouldn't go more considered. I shouldn't go more considered. You must give us credit. To come up with such an alliance that will bring peace in the state. Why not try it in your own state and see whether it will work? So you must come to study us. You must come to study us. I said, assuming they not consider. What I'm saying, you have to hear me now. What I'm trying to say is that this is what you have alleged. I have not accepted, but I said, okay, assuming that was done. What does it tell you? What is important is
why your house in the two political parties?
the point I'm making, when I have my house and I was strategy in politics is what matters.
But is this...
Let's look at the national.
Strategy in politics is very, very important. First of all, you was talking about gunshots in the elections in Rivers State. You want to talk about hijacking of materials in Rivers State. You only say so. And now, if the people have sat down, actually, to say, look, we will not allow these gunshots again.
Okay.
We don't allow these hijacking of materials. Let's sit on our see how can we move our state forward. And that has not given them peace. Why are you worried? So you would have been happy if here Rivers State 20 people were shot. You carry such news to make headlines that 20 people were shot in Rivers State yesterday. You will be very happy. Now, Rivers would have defeated you on that. They have defeated you on that. There will not be any more gunshots. Now look at even what you said. Look at what China said. They went to your 13. Remember, Arumakuta, Arumabado, remember. Remember is when you're going to Aba Road, where you have lock-up shops everywhere. So they said they went to 20 or 21, by 9:30. If you follow the pattern of elections in Nigeria, you know that people come out very well from 10 o'clock. When I was watching channels, they were saying voters apathy. I shouldn't be more conceding. But in 21, in 20 and 21 of your 13 in order that will vote apathy. How does that affect 7,000 units? 7,000 units. The one I went to my own unit to vote, below me, who was the one carrying that news, was in my unit. I said, hey, you are the one who I just watch on television now. He said, yes. Now what's the voters apathy now? She said, no, because I said, China, you want to defend the Now, she said, I'm going to correct it. I said, you see, this is the problem we have in this country. Have you been to Eche? Have you been to Omuma? Have you been to Bukana? Have you been to Kana? Have you been to Tai? Have you been to Eleme? Have you been to Andoni? Have you been to Abuodua? Have you been to Ahuda West? Have you been to Ahuda West? The point I'm making is that the point I'm making that you already have a predetermined mind.
That is unfair. The point I'm trying to make is this lady at the point where she is, it could be there are no persons there.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The point I'm saying. Why can you say out of 7,000 polling units, and you say in 2021, and you are saying that voter apathy?
Your Excellency,
you are sending a wrong message, which is not correct.
I'm not going to defend that, and it's for a very clear reason, because we will not report what we did not see. If the visuals are showing,
you are sending a wrong signal, okay, which is not fair. And then you came to my unit, you saw a mammoth card, I'm going to ask you, how you do that report is? She said, oh, she will correct it. That is not fair.
No, but we report what we're saying as well. We also report.
I'm not using some unit to get 7,000 units.
Your Excellency, we will also report what we saw, but
you are very biased.
We're diverting from attention. Let me quickly take you up on this issue, because you tried to educate us on the legality of the elections, which was the basis upon which a lot of Rivers people had problems with the elections. Well, a number of people, they said,
now you have said a wrong word. The majority of Rivers people. How do you get the majority of Rivers people?
Okay, but I did not say majority. I said a lot of people.
Who are the lot of people? Because you saw 10 people who came out to write on the newspapers.
Okay.
Then you see, that's how you problem you have.
Okay, just a moment. So let's just say some people. Which is natural. Let us question the basis that you said that the elections were legal.
Yes.
Which is the issue of, you said military rule. And I asked you a question if you were referring to the 1999 transition from military dictatorship to our democracy. Was that what you were referring to?
What I'm saying is this. I said, a military is provided in the Constitution. I'm coming. So you know what I'm saying. Provided. And that under the emergency rule, that the president has power to make regulations concern the governors of that emergency areas. And that under emergency rule does not mean that you don't follow rule of law. And that the president under the regulation made has said elections should be conducted. And I'm saying if emergency rule, which is even provided in the Constitution, you are saying that cannot conduct election to allow democracy at the top tier level. But if what is provided in the Constitution, allowed in the Constitution, cannot do this, are you now saying people who take to the barrel of gun, which has no provision in the Constitution, cannot conduct election for democratically elected people? That is the basis of what I said. That emergency rule is provided in the Constitution, and that the president has power to make regulation as to the governance of that area. And that people are now coming up to say, look, let me just tell you, some people have said under the Electoral Act. I said, they've not even read the regulation. The president has suspended some sections of the Electoral Act and then some sections of the law concerning River State Independent Electoral Commission. And that has paved the way for that regulation to hold elections.
Honorable Minister, maybe that should be your argument. But
that should be my argument. Now,
but the argument about military rule is once we hear the martial music, the Constitution is already suspended.
Why not wait? You see, that's my problem with you. What I said here, you would have understood what I said. If the emergency rule, but provided in the Constitution, if you are saying that they cannot conduct election because the emergency rule, and then you're not talking about the one that came to the barrel of God. Which you are not saying they have suspended Constitution. You understand what I'm saying? So you understand what I'm saying? So you understand what I'm saying? But the point we are making is that let people hear and let people know is that some people have gone to court. What will the court say? The court said, go ahead with the election. And we are here getting clean ourselves under what law? The body that is allowed for interpretation of our laws has said, go ahead with it. Then you are now coming here to be the judge, to be the lawyer, to do everything.
all right.
Sorry,
Who was that?
Christmas, I think
Yes.
we've almost exhausted the local election in the state. We still have more, but I just think, please, let me just quickly.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll finish this discussion around the local government elections and take on other matters as well. Please stay with us.
You will never be a unity today.
Welcome back. You're still watching the conversation with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike. And we're talking about the local government elections which just concluded in Rivers State. Mr. Ogoda, you did have a question before we went on break.
Absolutely. Honorable Minister, the local government elections, they've come and gone, victors announced. But some national political figures like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last elections, are full of criticisms, of the election. Like Atiku calling it an awful absurdity and a travesty to the very notion of electoral democracy. Yep. For Peter Obi, he described it as rascality taken too far and a double tragedy for Nigeria's democracy. How do you react to this comment?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me take Atiku first. The court stopped last local government election, right? The government went ahead and conducted the election. The same Atiku held the government for disobeying the court order. Disobeying the court order. The Federal High Court gave injunction. The election should not be held. And we thought, as a man who occupied that number 2 position, all you have done was to look. We're in a democratic system. It doesn't matter how the judgment, how it went. It was respect the rule of law. When you support that the election should take place. Listen, I don't blame Atiku because he was recalcitrant to his boss. He didn't know that his boss signed the emergency report in 2004. If he knew, if he was obedient and working along with his boss, who the president of Obasanjo, he would have known that the president has power to make regulations and for the governance of the emergency areas. So he was not in tune. He doesn't know. And like I said, what you don't know, don't comment about it. If Atiku has commented about custom now, I know that worked in custom, he has experience, I can give it to him. What is the law? He didn't know that 2004 emergency and that was signed by his boss. Look at the man. Look at that system. 1999, he was in PDP. 2007, he ran on Ambassador Congress. 2011, he came back to PDP to run for a presidential district. He left. 2015, 14, he went to APC. He ran for the presidency. 2017, he came back to PDP, became a candidate in 2019, became a candidate in 2023. Now again, he had left for APC to sit for president. Did they prescribe drugs for presidency for him? Now, take Peter Obi, he said rascality. Who can be more rascal than Obi? Obi became a governor. He was governor for Anambra State for 80 years. He conducted the government election. 2 years to win the big office. 2 years, 8 years as governor. Does he have what it takes to comment about conduct of election that was properly done and backed up by law? When he was governor, Nigerians forget English. Doctors were strike for 13 good months. Hospitals were shut down. 13 good months. Are we saying that we're not aware of this? So what do you mean rascality? Who is more rascal? So you should not take the views of the, because you see, the anger is that they are looking for where they get funding and that's no longer available in Rivers State. They have no capacity or morals to even talk about it. A competent court of jurisdiction, full high court, give order, give judgment. Say, look, don't do this. And to me, was one of those who held the conduct of that election. Now, under the window of the president, of the emergency room, he has said, go ahead and conduct the government election. What I thought we should have more preoccupied is, one, was the election free and fair? If you ask me, I saw State Independent Electoral Commission chairman. Of course, you know, I don't even know most of them, but they call me. They are from Sokoto, I'm from Ogun, I'm from this. We came to ask their report. They said in 30 days, in 1 month, he could do this. When somebody has done well, say the person has done well. If I have my way, I will recommend the chairman and members, the president should take it to national level. It is very clear. It is very, very clear. Look at the conduct of the election. You are seeing people are saying, for the first time in our history, no gunshot, no kind of bombing boxes, no kidnapping of returning officers. And nobody wants to come out and commit security agencies and the reset. You only say illegal to you. The court has not pronounced it illegal.
Honorable Minister, earlier when you were answering my question concerning the landslide victory of APC in the just concluded local government polls, you had mentioned that the People's Democratic Party did not field a candidate in all the local government councils. However, we were also, the last time we were here, talking about the collaboration between the APC and the PDP in order to foster peace and, stability in the state, even in electioneering periods. Is this collaboration a deliberate step, or was it the reason why PDP decided not to field candidates in certain local government areas in Rivers State in the last election?
You are saying collaboration.
No, you said...
No, hold on. First of all, let me bring you antecedent. Before, you said that PDP contested election in all local government. I said, you have the facts, you don't have the facts. He said collaboration. I said, assuming they're not considering that there was this collaboration.
The first one.
No, I'm coming now. I said, assuming they're not considering that there was a collaboration. We need not commend this collaboration. That does not mean I consider. However, let me also say this. As time goes on, PDP are being a predominant party in Rivers. No doubt about that. You also know the PDP has had its own problems. People are losing faith. People are losing faith in PDP, whether you agree or not. It's not to come out on television to say this or that. That's the truth of the matter.
What is your own assertion of the People's Democratic Party as it stands right?
I should say more than you, because you're not a member of the party.
But you are, Your Excellency.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So that was, I should say more.
Okay.
You should listen to me.
Okay.
When I'm talking, I'm authority in PDP.
All right.
Therefore, when we are talking, people are losing confidence. Remember, our party in the states had problems with national level. Where the national level caused serious crisis in our party in the state. And so many people have lost interest. Many have lost interest. All we are trying to is, look, you cannot lose interest. Those of you who still have that confidence that you can run, will encourage you. You don't push people to run. You have to go and pay for fun. If you don't have the money, you can pay. You don't have a governor who would have, of course, may have funded, but it's no longer available. So I cannot go and purchase for everybody because I don't have that resources. I don't have it. But the one I can do, I did. To prove that how many PDP people have one seat in their own states. Mention.
So are you proud now that out of 23 local governments in River State, your party, the PDP won 3?
No, I'm not. The PDP won the entire.
That's APC that won.
No. This is what I'm saying. I would prefer that I would prefer that look. I am dominant in the local government that determines what happens in the state.
That's what we are called.
You cannot do without Obiamo. You can't.
Does that justify the huge figure that RISEC had now for Obiamo? 350-something thousand. The last election, APC in the presidential election in 2023 got just a little over that.
It's not correct. It is not correct. Listen. You see, that's the problem you have. People have. We look at the pattern of results from 1999. We are changing history. Who has been the highest number of votes? You don't just come up to say, this is a local election. Then you know that the turnout is more. Councillorship is like community or family affairs. People come out. People even take councillorship more serious than in terms of governorship and the no, because it has to do with family or communities. So, I don't know what your worry is. If you are worried, you can't take my record that there was nothing. No, you cannot. You can't. The record go down. Don't interfere. Don't worry. We won. And my people believe, whether you like it or not, it's not by coming out, like I've always said, you have always preferred those who will come sunrise, who will come early morning of arise, people who don't have facts. We don't have the facts. As I speak here, I can tell you if election is conducted today, presidential election, governorship election, I can tell you how each local government will fare. I can tell you authoritatively. I can tell you where we may have problems because I have been in it and I know very well. I'm not talking just to satisfy you. If you want to look, in 2015, you had a governor who was an APC. Correct? We defeated him. In 2019, you had what the federal government did to us by bringing the army. It didn't work. You had a super minister. Minister Dede. It didn't work. In 2023, you see how the same minister Dede, he supported PDP and people. It didn't work. So look at the pattern. So what you say today, and look, let me tell you, I have a problem in the North PDP. You know why? What is going on now? I've never seen the level of empowerment of any state than River State in terms of political appointment. It's a problem for me. As a member of PDP. See the history of River State, be it military or civilian, we have never had that kind of political appointments at the federal level. Never. So it's a thought. Listen. When you are preaching, the people will ask you, what are you preaching? See.
Appointments.
See, sir. Bono Road. That was completed. Someone trying to tell us. Sir, look at the enemy area. That is where you have the refinery. It's almost completed. So you have to be careful.
So the APC is threatening you in River State?
It's a threat.
To you?
Yes, it's a threat. No. You have to face reality. You have to face reality. Whether people likes it or not, they have the opportunity. The only thing that's going for me now, and as I am my local government, is because my people believe and still have that faith have not told them to leave APC. I mean to leave PDP. But you should know that I have said severally, and I did it in 2023, and there's no confusion about it. But I will still support.
We still didn't get to answer the question that I asked. Oh, you
No, you are not the examiner. Yes, I will not answer it.
I'm curious. I'm curious because in answering these questions,
Yes.
At the heart of it is what you are saying and what you are doing. What you are doing is you want the APC to succeed. So what does it do for you that it's just I mean, you say that you delivered your local government. What does it do for your party, the PDP, in Rivers State? Looking at it, because if the government...
Are you aware that APC won presidential election in 2023 Rivers?
Well.
Are you aware that PDP won the governorship election? So what is the you know about here? But APC won the government election. Therefore, it is not that everything will win the government election. So what is right? I have told you know, every politics is local. I want to tell you, whether you like it, you don't like it. The truth is that, as it stands today, if Mr. President contests the president election, he will win. That does not mean, listen, that does not mean that anybody will win governorship. So I've always said, and you must know that, have it at the back of your mind. It is not about whatever you feel, whether you are happy, you are not happy. We are not here to make you happy. We are here to make Rivers people to be happy. What makes Rivers people to be happy is what we are interested in.
Your Excellency, can I just ask one question, completely unrelated? Has the Constitution, since a state of emergency has been declared in Rivers State, which is constitutional, you say is provided for in the Constitution, people know it is provided for in the Constitution, is the Constitution suspended when a state of emergency is declared in a state?
No, I said certain laws, the president has right to suspend certain sections as it relates to some laws. I said so. And it is there. It is there very clear. And that's why he suspended some sections of the Electoral Act of 2022 and suspended some provisions of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Law and Rivers State Local Government he has the power. And that's what we should know. And again, if you watch, what are the regulations he made? He said, look, upon the notice of this election, if you want to challenge it, you have between 7 days to challenge it.
Interestingly.
I'm coming. Okay, go ahead.
Interestingly, because you've answered my question.
Okay.
Interestingly, only recently, at a book launch of a friend of yours, Mohammed Adoke, SAN, former Attorney General.
Yes.
I do remember that I think was the Vice President who was there, Kashim Shettima, who had also experienced the state of emergency while he was governor of Borno State. And he talked about the suspension of a governor of a state under emergency rule, which continues to be controversial. And if I can remember clearly what he said that the president doesn't have the powers to suspend.
I don't want to go into that because we are overblowing it. Mind you, let us ask you, the scenario quite different. Remember, Supreme Court has said there was no government in Rivers. Supreme Court has said there is no government in Rivers. What does it mean? Supreme Court said you cannot make yourself a dictator by making sure that no arm of government survives. That they cannot allow dictatorship. So the scenario is quite different. So I don't want to go into the interpretation of what the Vice President said. People are misinterpreting that what he said. So this is quite different scenario.
Yes.
So no matter what the court, Supreme Court said, look, there is no government in Rivers. When there is no government in Rivers, what is the implication?
Honorable Minister, sir. Let's come to the level. Some school of thought will say Yuson Wike wears a mask, you know. It's PDP in the daytime, APC by night. But your party, you still claim to be a member of PDP and well-rooted in that party. The PDP has now zoned the presidency to the south, chairmanship to the north. Is that a plus for you? Would you be running? Some other senior members of the party are even rooting for ex-President Jonathan to run or Peter Obi to return to the party. Where is your position here?
Well, let me correct that. I want to ask you. These people say we can wear a mask. What are they wearing? You see, people you don't like, don't like those who are very blunt and who will tell you where they are. Right from day one, I did say with my colleagues, listen, people are shooting themselves. And if you allow what is going on to continue, you pay. And what did I say? Or what did you say? You cannot have the presidential candidate at the same time national chairman of the party. It is better now you have stolen the presidential ticket. They stole it. And again, stole the national chairman. I said to purge you. And you purge them. And I have no regret for it. Now you see, I have appeared in this phone before. And I said, listen, you have to, the president must go back to the south for them to be able to complete their 8 years. I never did it. I said it. And then we are making noise, at the end of the day, what has happened? Now they realize that yes, it's true. You cannot take president and take chairman. Now you are giving yourself national chairman. Let the president go to the south. Why not be that as used to be? Why not be that arrogant to say nothing will happen? They realize that something will happen. It happened in 2023. Even this one you have done now. To what? Do you know to where? Who will do to where? You want to kill the party to ball? No, I mean, you see, even somebody don't have characters. Obi, now what are using the party? That the party is rotten is this. So the party is good enough for you to go around for this to go ambition. Can make you even go to Satan's house. Ministers, you don't ask streets today. Don't rush. You ask question. So, Obi is not anybody who says so, like Baba said, I had him say, that is Baba's opinion. It is that there is an opinion. But if you want to destroy the party, dare it. If you want to destroy this party, dare to do it. Let me give a big come. But no way because of ambition. Can't be the principle. Because you're leading the president. Anybody that makes you available, this one cost me, this one cost me. So no ideology, no principle. You talk about Jonathan. I respect Jonathan very well. I know he does the role and the Sari elder steps back. And somebody the international community respects, and I think he will continue with that. These people who are weighing Jonathan, what is their strength? I don't know if anybody who played him game in 2015. Some of these people, I see what I don't like this. People who are trying to play to the gallery. Baba is entitled to say he's waiting for Jesus Christ. He's waiting for Prophet Muhammad. He's entitled to. But that is not his view. Or that is not the opinion. Or we have heard that as a governor that he intends to run. If that governor is true that he intends to run, how is Banana is saying that PDP is waiting for either His Excellency President Jonathan, former President, or His Excellency Peter Obi. For Christ's sake, nobody should cause problem for the party. When you cause problem for the party, you now say people are behind this problem. You are the one problem. How will anybody even contemplate?
Are you going to run since it's been zoned to the south? Are you running for presidency?
I will not run. So don't do it. Let me tell you, wait, that's what I was asking you. So I know it very well. You know, you have to cause confusion very well. I have integrity. I have character. That's me. My appointer is there. You are saying you should what? Then I'll turn around to say I want to. What kind of? We are talking about people who don't even have integrity. What do my children ask me?
Okay, Your Excellency.
What is for Tinubu?
Are you is it today unique?
It's obvious. Even when your party has zoned its presidency to the south as well.
That one is zoned. To some she's
I'm curious to ask,
yes.
you talked about party ideology and principles that these politicians don't have. The ones you mentioned, Atiku, Peter Obi. I'm just curious as to your thoughts generally. Is that something that permeates our political landscape in Nigeria
now? It's not correct. Even the fact those, take for example, where have I left? From 1998. I've been in PDP. I've told you when they fight, I'll fight it there. You know, so how you know? I just analyzed to you there. I took 1999. 2007, we ran under Action Congress. 2011, we came back around for the political ticket of PDP. 2014, we left PDP and went to APC and ran the political ticket. 2017, he came back and became president candidate of PDP 2019 and became president candidate of PDP 2023. Now again, we have left to APC to seek for presidential ticket. Is there any prescription of drug? Okay. For you, for it's not even a talk. That's why I say I'm a principle. Is that a coalition now? So the whole coalition. When CPC and ACM, so we want to fight within the party, not from a party. I want to come with all progressive Congress. That is a coalition. Not about you. Every time you want to be this, you don't get it. You move to the other public. He says a coalition. How can that be a coalition? It cannot be a coalition. A coalition is not two political parties, one or two political parties come together. Let's look. They are following this for purposes of defeating the ruling party. Not when you are an individual, you didn't get ticket here this year. You went to the other party. But if you didn't get that, you also want to have the coalition. That cannot be the definition of a coalition.
Interestingly, your media aide released a statement shortly after the PDP did the zoning, and he said that you had been vindicated. Yourself and the G5 governors were vindicated.
Okay.
He also asked a question in that statement. I want to believe he was speaking for you when you were saying, is it not too late? Can you answer that question? It's too late.
You know, just something you have come out on time for people to be a to run for presidency. It's not my mouth. Except you just want to see, there are people who want to answer our presidential candidate. You are so many people who say, look, I want presidential candidate. It is their CV. And then they say they are not the leader of the party being the presidential candidate. For Christ's sake, I went to this business. I came out to run for presidency before. I know what it took me to go around this country. Not even for primary election, not even general election. I knew what I was heading to. So, it is not just only the resources, it is also to be mentally alert, and be prepared. Psychologically, you have to. It's an zone to us. Therefore, I can now run. No, it's not done that way. It's not done that way. I said, look, except somebody, and I have not seen. I have not seen who. Baba said he sacrificed his ambition. Baba should know the truth now. I'm going to go to the music.
Honorable Minister. All right. The former governor of Kaduna State was quoted as saying that he couldn't figure out the pathway for Bola Tinubu's presidency in 2027. Him winning the 2027 election, that there might be a runoff election, and in that runoff, that Bola Tinubu definitely will not be first or second, that is going to become distant third.
Okay. So you want to find them. You see, my friend, they failed in this mathematics. He goofed. He would have completed it and told us, since I know Tinubu will come third, he should also provided who will be first and second. You see how he failed in mathematics now. How do you arrive at who will be third? Then you will not arrive who will be first and second.
Can't we assume that?
He knows.
That is what the agency has come.
But you should have come out to tell us. You see, one thing I like about outside is that he speaks his mind. But sometimes he's speaking your mind, say the one that is correct. In this one, I put a bet if he agrees. If Tinubu does not win this election squarely, I put a bet. You see, I want to, he said, they should not ask Jonathan. No two persons are the same. No two persons are the same. The mere fact you are able to survive that, succeed in that, does not mean you can do that. We are also here too. So as I'm sitting down here, when there's somebody that you come and win River State, it's not possible.
So you don't foresee a runoff?
Which runoff? Which who?
Honorable Minister.
Which runoff it will? Let me tell you. You see, what you have is complain. So they don't do by-elections. When you ask a question, they don't do by-elections. What happened? Complain. You see, we are used to complaining. I have told you, I don't like excuses. What I cannot do, what I cannot achieve, I will tell you, this is not possible. It's not possible. People are just, you see, people are accusing research. I was watching. Tell me which election that I did that people did not accuse them. Mention one election. If anybody who has lost election in this country and has come out to say, listen, apart from Jonathan, who came out and said, I concede to this. Mention one person. But I've had election in this country, I've agreed that look, the way it went is the will of the people. Mention. You see, until you have this spirit that is a game. I've tried my best. I'm putting my best. If you go the way I thought you should go.
Is it possible in Nigeria?
Why is it not possible? Why not do things to encourage people to do that? Why do you think it's impossible? Are you a human? You human guys have you preach that people should try to learn this and abide to it. Rather, you only be doing something that's so pessimistic. You said there, leaders. You said the leaders, how come? It means that with proper planning, assuming that people can sit down and say, look, the interest of our nation, the interest of our state, the interest of our community is paramount. Can we go this way and achieve peace? Not when we should be encouraging people, not when people do something that has come to say, surprising you, there's peace, there's all this, you know, is that democracy? Until they shoot themselves, until they kill and burn houses, That's the only way you say there is a democracy. The moment you don't kill, the moment you don't kidnap people, there's no democracy. Our definition of a democracy in Nigeria, from Libya's perspective, is that houses have been bought.
Your Excellency, I think that the media will not accept that because, we're here because the Constitution supports our role in a democracy.
I think we are also misunderstanding. The media should not go through without criticism. You cannot say you have a right to criticize. We don't have a right to come up to say this is your own role that you're not carrying out. In as much as you criticize and bring up issues, we should also have an opportunity telling you where you are, that this and this is what you are doing, that is not right. So whether you accept it or not is not right. To me, when we tell you what you are doing that is not right, and you are telling me here, what of this, you go to your media, you are. If I tell them you are biased, what's wrong with that?
Your Excellency, I will always say that we'll do our best to maintain balance. But let me quickly ask you this. You've dismissed Mr. Peter Obi, even though he said that he seems to understand the mood in the nation and he understands that, look, even this zoning to the south, it does appear that the south only has one term. And he said that he's willing to do one term. And everyone knows that when he left the PDP and went to the Labour Party, he was able to get over 6 million votes. Are we going to dismiss what he was able to get in the last election?
To give him the 6 million votes back. Matching the 6 million votes. All those who voted for him before will continue to vote for him. You don't understand the dynamics and popularity. What happened in 2023 will not be the same. Let me finish. I don't know where you get. See, this era of your social media, we know the influence of social media, what happened before and this and that. Which party are you going to run? Tell me now. Is it Labour?
Is it the PDP?
Yeah, I'm asking you. You don't talk about I'm asking you. Tell me where you get 6 million under PDP or under Labour Party.
Is the plan for him not to get any political party for him to...
That's not what I'm saying.
It's a question.
No, but no, you know better. Because if you are running, you should now know the party that you are running. On which platform are you running? Is it not correct? You revealed December, you mentioned. I think I said he's going to run the ABC. I think I said he's going to run in ABC. He has not said where he run. Why are you keeping us about as guessing? Are you trying to say that, well, I'm trying to find which party?
So you can't let him come to the PDP?
Nobody is coming to PDP. So his own is anywhere he goes, he can go to anywhere. When he's not to go, he goes there. The number of people he comes, he's a set, He's nobody in PDP. Now you said, you asked the question about, okay, let me just be clear. Look, it is very clear. First of all, I want everybody to look. Stop saying that you work for 4 years. It's not correct. And I don't want people to be deceived. Circumstances will change. How do you see that there's somebody, a president tells you, I work for 4 years? Then you, if you say yes, I believe him. I mean, who are you trying to, I said it, you stop this now. You are not being fair, you are doing that. I mean, how can you say that? You think that you are not Nigerian, and you said it clearly. That is not correct. Don't tell Nigerian such a story. When you get there, you don't find out whether you run for even second or third time. Some people try to do third time. It is not correct. So the
and the Southeast South caucus, they still have a kind of bone of contention.
Yes.
Are you okay with that convention that is scheduled to hold in Labour?
I have told you something. The issue of no convention is not a problem. The problem is it should lead to convention. And people should understand that. I'm coming now. I'm coming. No, that's not correct. It's not correct. Hold on now. Hold on. That's why I said, do your researches. People have agreed. They have set up a cabinet committee for the Southeast, and they're doing. at the front of the tribe when they conduct the congresses. So that's what I say, make your researches first.
Honorable Minister, let's talk about the cloud.
Hold on. This one we're talking about, is it ABC? I mean, that was not, if you are so that you cannot be united today because the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. Now, they've agreed to do that. On the of South, which is another issue, they've agreed to look into the matter. Look, I have said, if you don't love PDP, by now, you will be hearing that name. It's not, I don't need to be a governor for me to do what I want to do. Our own team is meeting today by 7 p.m. I want to let you know. I will know what to say. We are not contesting venue of convention. And people are going to say the convention, they didn't know what they are saying. There are things that are leading to convention. If they are not taken care of, then why can the convention will not hold? And each of you to report what you have said accurately. I'm not challenging. And that's what you say, because I'm quarreling with Sheri, that's why I say convention will not hold in Ibadan. That is, the venue is not the subject matter. The subject matter is, have you done what you're supposed to do before holding that convention? So you now go and tell it that I said, if I don't know hold the convention. No, that's not correct. We have had conventions in different areas before. We have had convention in Port Harcourt. We have had convention in Abuja. So the party can decide whether to hold it in Sokoto, whether to hold it in Borno. But what we are saying, before you get to the convention, have you done what you're supposed to do? If you've not done it, it may be a setback. And the PDP, from what I remember, have taken some steps to see that such issues are being resolved. And if they are resolved to the satisfaction of the complainants, no problem. But if they are not resolved, to fulfill the complainant, of course, they will take action. It's not about, you see, I've told people to know this. For me today, one thing people don't understand. If you have a problem, don't continue to give yourself more problems. Try to restrict yourself to the small one you have, but to add up other problems. No opposition party can survive when they have serious crisis. The duty of the opposition party to see how, whatever way, they can solve their problem. It's not by being arrogant. It's not by being, impunity. They say, no, I'm a governor, I will do it. I don't need to be a governor before I cause my problem. I don't need to.
Can we ask more?
Let me just quickly bring you back to your territory.
That's my question. I asked my question.
Look, Your Excellency, the notion by a lot of political analysts is the fact that the decision of the PDP to zone the presidency to the south and of course the chairmanship to the north is medicine after death. That has been established. But you are still a member, a part and parcel of the People's Democratic Party. Is there any solution that you have personally for the political resurrection of the PDP that you say is gradually losing steam? Because if today the PDP sinks, you are in that ship and you might sink together with it.
No. You see, again, who are political analysts? Those that appear on television.
There are quite a number of them.
No, you see, let me tell you, sometimes I feel so, when I was, sometimes I see you, is a security analyst, constitutional lawyer. Where do you get that from?
Because they speak from a place of knowledge.
No, please. No. You see, but I've been in a country where there was a war. Do you understand me? And I saw that, look, there's no need to have war. It will set back development, right? That does not make me to be an analyst of war. It does not make me. Here in Nigeria, everybody has assumed to be an analyst. When when I watch television very well, I take interest when I have the time. I see the people they bring to talk about local government, to talk about state. I say it because they cannot find people who can really do justice to this. If you make your researches, well, I always say, before somebody comes up, you have checked his background. You have checked what are his contributions. It's not a question of, so I don't like to hear this political analysts. I have told you here that we have said, look, our convention, and said, if these problems are resolved, good for us our convention. That means I've offered solutions. I mean, I don't know why you
have just about 3 or 4 minutes to we still want to round up on FCT issues. And that's
very quickly, Your Excellency. You made one complaint on your way here. The corn seller on the road, peeling and littering. Abuja is filthy. The waste management is not being properly managed. That's one. How are you going to tackle that? Secondly, I will take you back to the district hospitals. Karo is one. Utako is abandoned for almost 20 years and you have miscreants living in there. Okay. The Karo one concession, the concession has expired. Okay. What are you doing?
You see, sometimes they get asked. You were here when we discussed about Utako. You were here when I said about mitigation.
Yeah, you said it's being resolved.
Yeah, I said it's just being resolved and procurement process is going on. You were here. And mind you, it was not under me. I just came and I met it. Yeah. And when a matter is under litigation, you know it takes you a lot of time. That's what you can do about it, but we have been able to resolve. And then the procurement process has started. And I said, if you look at our law, procurement process is not a one-day affair. Absolutely. And I told you, the number of hospitals that we are taking up now, I told you this year. So we've talked about Abuja filthy. Look,
maybe you've had
one major problem.
Maybe you've had this to the Abuja filthy situation environment. And that is the question of open grazing. On this series, you had announced a ban on open grazing in the FCT. But even in front of your official residence.
I didn't know you go to my official residence.
I passed through there, I see that.
Let me tell you, I think it would have been proper to hear this word. Like it's also on some other states and some other cities too. We have traveled. It will be good for you to say Abuja is filthy. It is good for you to say some part of Abuja is filthy. I agree with you on that. It will be wrong. We must appreciate certain things done. And if you don't appreciate that, if there's somebody coming now to say Abuja, no road, that is fair. Some areas in Abuja, there are no good roads, I agreed. Some areas, there are good roads, I agree. And attempts are being made to put the roads that are not in good condition to be condition. We cannot totally generalize or condemn. Our third problem on this waste management, but we have to have the political will to fight it. It's unfortunate how it was awarded, people who don't even have the capacity, who don't even have the equipment to do it. And you know one thing is that when you come to a position and you take such drastic actions, sometimes people who don't even have information are those who will be saying all kinds of things that you just came or you are trying to do, collect the jobs that they gave to because they are your opponents. No, you don't even know those who are doing the job. When you find that the work is not moving and you take action.
Have you had a conversation with them? The waste managers?
How will I know they don't have the capacity? It's because I interacted with them. So what we have done, we have gotten approval for the BPP. Look, we advertise this. Now, that's the problem. I won't be there. came as graded. Now I said, look, I have to. I said with him, go and check where the equipment are. Did you understand me? It shouldn't be done on political patronage, particularly issue of sanitation. It shouldn't be done on political patronage. And we are doing that. It's unfortunate, but that is the truth of the matter. And then you ask for somebody of that. Now you said, now let me tell you about the politics of that. It's a national security matter. Abuja is the capital of the country. I hope you realize that. You have diplomacy here. It's the seat of the presidency. Do you understand that? You have to be careful in Nigeria. If you place where people are certain trap, people trap for you. Where they will now come up to use religion and play. Look, I've told people, and I asked one of them, tell me the simple truth. Do you like this happening like this? I have traveled all over the world. You don't see this. Why is it that government brings out the policy to stop this? You ethnicize it. I have the capacity to say if I want to stop it. But again, you also have to be careful. The best thing you see, but Mr. President has directed the minister to fight against social people. You see, there are some things that are very dicey. So that's why I say it's a national security issue. We have NSA. We have the security agencies, right? I want them to call the FCT minister. Who are the two? We don't want this again. Watch what I will do. So I'm telling you, some of you look at it, FCT. The moment you take that decision now, yes. You see what you hear. You don't have it in your life. So it is just not tied.
Tired of this issue.
You don't really mean tied.
Because we have to go.
I'm making peace. That's why
I'm peace with people who
you know what my people say? Instead of fight, let them be ready.
Okay.
But everybody knows it is unacceptable and the truth of the matter. And we just don't want to tell ourselves the simple truth. Right. Everybody wants to play politics, something we do. Let NSA call us. Let UG call us. Let IG call us. Let all the health of security call us. We cannot allow this in FCT. See whether it will not stop.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Let me thank my colleagues too. Felicity is a worker. She's of Ministerial. Felicity.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure being here. Thank you very much.
It's been really wonderful. I mean, hearing your views politically and in terms of the leadership in the FCT. Thank you.
Boss, I hope you're happy.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.
And Chijoke.
Honorable Minister, it's been a pleasure. I still have questions for next time.
Thank you. Happiness is that the editor from Arise I've had and I've seen it, I've had the truth. I thank God the channel is here.
You should also watch us.
Carry the message, but let us tell the world.
We'll take the balance.
Be the truth. I don't know about
News Central.
News Central have also been there. We see carry the story well. TVC carry the story. NDBM try. But the truth must be told.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
That's the end of today's edition of the Ministerial Chat. We'll see you again very soon. On behalf of all of us, my name is Bill Garulino.